welcome back to Books with Brandywine. Today I wanted to talk to you about my 5 favorite books to donate. And these are whether I'm donating at little free libraries or donating at, like, when the bookstore has the book drives where you can donate a book, or just like say you're going to donate a book and they'll like charge you a certain amount of money and they'll pick a random book, or whether it's like a school book drive, just anywhere where opportunities have come up to get to donate books. And for years, I've always had like certain books that I really, really love to donate. And one of the reasons I've always had this list is because it's really hard, spur of the moment, to try and think of what book to donate, because there are so many like super cool kids books and young adult books and middle grade books. And there's just so many awesome books. And I'm like one of those people where if I don't have a plan ahead, like I can't like figure it out. I'd get too stressed. So I always had certain books that I loved getting to donate. And then recently I've actually added a couple more of books to that list that I have read recently and loved and was like, oh my gosh, like every kid needs to read these books type of a situation. So without further ado, let's get into the 5 books that I love to donate. So the first book is Mr. Lemoncello, Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. This is the first book in a series that so far has 4 books, but it'll probably have more books than that. And of course, the first book takes place in Mr. Lemoncello's Library, which is a brand new library that has just opened up in their town. I believe they live in Ohio, and it is the coolest library you will ever like find. It was created by a man who creates games, so it's got like the best elements of both. It is super high-tech, super futuristic library. It is so cool. And the reason why I love donating this book is because of the focus on the library. Throughout this series, they are cultivating kids' love for libraries. They're introducing things like the Dewey Decimal System, like you can see here, they've got the wheel. I think it's a great way to get kids familiar with the library system if they're not already familiar with it, and because this library is so awesome, like it's a great way to pique their interest. In this book, they do have to escape from the library, and the first child that does gets a prize. And throughout the book, they have tons of references of books that actually exist, fun facts about authors and different people in just in history, and in the back they have a list of all of the books that are mentioned in this book. So that's another fun way to introduce the kids to books that they haven't found yet. So it's one of the reasons why I love donating that one. The next one is The Phantom Tollbooth, and this is a new book to my list of books that I love to donate. This book, I believe, was written in like the 60s. I don't think it was the 30s. It was written a really, really long time ago. And it follows the journey of a child that is super, super bored. Sorry, I'm trying to see what date this was written because now I'm like super curious. It was written in 1961. So I was right, it was the 60s. But it follows the journey of this boy here who is super, super bored in his life. He kind of takes everything for granted. He kind of has like everything just given to him. I mean, he has a toy car that he rolls around his room. And one day, a Phantom Tollbooth is randomly delivered to him, and he finds himself in this really cool world that is on this map. And this world is so, like, just, it's a crazy, crazy world. And while he's in this world, it is a perfect environment for this boy to learn and grow and to just become a better citizen all around. I mean, he stops being super lazy. He ends up in the humdrums and learns, not to get stuck there. He learns the importance of words and saying what you mean. He also learns the importance of, I forget the 2 princesses that they're trying to rescue, because they're like super, super important. And it's really sad I forgot what their names are. It's like, I don't want to say it's Truth and Consequences. I think it's like Truth and Common Sense or something. And he has to rescue them. And, Rhyme and Reason, that's what it is. So he learns the importance of rhyme and reason. And I just think that the journey that he takes through this book and the learning that he does, I think is very, very important. I think it's a very fun book for kids to read. And I wish I had read it when I was a kid. I didn't end up reading it until a few months ago. But I loved this book, and so I've added it to my donation list. Another new one that just got added to the list of donations, I actually just added it this month. Yeah, this month, is The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. This book was so much fun. Like, it's fun from the very beginning all the way to the end. And Neil Patrick Harris is an amazing narrator. He is a blast. And I think the reason this book was so important to me, and the reason why I think it would be important to kids to be able to get a hold of this book, is because the boy there in the middle, he's an orphan and he's running away. He's never had like any good luck in his life, but he ends up making friends with all these people and this guy. And he learns the importance of family, because all of these people that become his friends, they're obviously not blood related to him, but they become super important in his life, and they end up taking care of them. He is one of the dads of that girl, and she's adopted as well, and so he gets to learn from her about having family, and just, I think it's just a really important message about family, about sticking up for what is right. The little boy has like a very strict code of ethics. Like, he will never steal, even though his whole life his uncle's been trying to get him to learn how to steal. Well, uncle, cousin, thing, person. And I think it's important. One, because it has magic in it. It teaches you how to do magic tricks, which I think would be fun for kids to learn. Two, it's important to learn about friends and family. And three, to learn about sticking to your code of ethics and having fun while you're doing it. So I think those are all reasons that this book would be great for kids to get to read and get to have access to in those donations. The next book is Ranger's Apprentice, Book 1, The Ruins of Gorlan. This series is up to, I think, like 23 or 26 books now, so it's really, really long. But I think it is great book for kids. I actually see a lot of kids reading this book. You know how like back in the day you always saw kids walking around reading Harry Potter, and you still do, believe me. But the next book that I see the most kids walking around reading are actually books from this Ranger's Apprentice series. It is fun, it is adventure, there are strong male and female characters. It starts out with this boy who is an orphan. I think he's 12 years old. And 15 years. Oh, wow, he's 15. I don't know why I thought he was 12 when he started. And him and I think like 4 other kids that he has been raised with are about to choose what they're going to be apprentices for. And he ends up becoming the Ranger's Apprentice. It teaches a lot of different skills. I think it also teaches confidence. But really, I just liked all the skills. It really made me want to learn how to do archery. It made me want to learn how to sneak around, because obviously that's something that's very important for Rangers to learn. It is a fun book. It also introduces you to different countries, because they do end up visiting a lot of countries in the world. And all of this world in this series is based loosely on our world. So some of the customs are the same. The locations on the planet are the same. I love this series. I think it is so much fun. And there's also a secondary series, The Brother Brand Chronicles, which I think is just as awesome. And you don't have to have read the first series, Ranger's Apprentice, to get into The Brother Brand Chronicles, even though they're set in the same world. I think you can read them separately and they're still just as awesome. So I think it's definitely like a great series for kids to get into, especially if they haven't already fallen in love with books. I think this series would definitely help them fall in love with books. And then the last of the 5 books that I love donating is the book Scavenger. And this is about a girl there who loves getting to play this game Book Scavenger, which is on a website. And basically, you hide books, you find books, you get points for every book you hide, you get points for every book you find, you get points for if people find books that you've hidden. And as your points add up, like, you get different perks and stuff. And she has just moved from New Mexico to San Francisco, and she ends up finding this book here that is like a super rare book, because it is a puzzle piece for a game that the creator of Book Scavenger was going to unleash on the world to have fun and to figure out, except that he got attacked just before he was able to release it. And so using the clues in this book, she's able to find, because he had the game completely set up, like it was ready and everything. And so she's using the book to try and figure out all the clues for that game. And also, I don't remember if it was like her goal, but part of it is they end up trying to find out who attacked the guy that created Book Scavenger. And his name was really funny. What was his name? Griswold. Oh, Garrison Griswold. Okay, so it's not as awesome as Mr. Lemoncello, but it's still a cool name. And so one of the reasons I love this book is for one of the same reasons I love Mr. Lemoncello's library, and that is that it talks about a lot of books that actually exist in this book. And so I think, does she have a thing at the end where you can find all the books? She doesn't. But you can go through and like mark all the different books that are referenced. And I think it was really cool to get to explore San Francisco. I think this is a really fun book. It also explores friendship. And so this is one of my favorite books as well to donate to kids. It is part of a trilogy at this moment. I don't know if there's going to be more books in it, but I haven't read that third book yet. I'm looking so forward to it. I cannot wait to read the third book. It is a mystery. It is fun. It is exciting. So those are the 5 books that I love to donate. Are there any books that you love to donate? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!